Yeah. All right, so this is my inspiration. Barbara had asked to paint asters, and I'm going to use this pillow cover to help me set up my composition for you. All right, so there's some white ones and some pink ones here, and there's some leaves. I probably won't get the opportunity to paint the whole of this composition, and I want you to note that it is centered, right? So if you are going to put this into composition for yourself, you want to have this asymmetrical on the side. And however, the chrysanthemums do grow in this kind of snowball shape. So, but just put the whole potted plant on the side and maybe have some birds or some bees or butterflies coming from the sides, this side or that side. And that would make your painting, your finished painting, asymmetrical. I'm going to pause and switch my. Okay, so I've moved my camera to using my webcam, and there's my paper, and I've got it set up here to paint for you. And here's an example of what we want to paint, right? The daisy-like shape. So I have water, and I have paper towel. I have 2 brushes, a fine line brush, and my trusty OIS flow brush, small flow brush. I could also use my OIS pre-Happy Dot brush. Got some practice paper here to demonstrate with. This practice paper slows my strokes down so that you could watch my painting more easily. And of course, the garbage truck is here, so I'm going to pause. All right. All right, the garbage truck passed, and I'm going to finish telling you about where the setup is. You want to have a plate to mix your colors on. You can have little extra dishes for individual colors. I have these companion colors. This is a larger set from OIS. Also the Japanese Gansai colors. You know, my space is limited here for painting, but you should have everything on the left side if you're left-handed, and on the right side if you're right-handed. So I'm going to use color to demonstrate. You can do this in black and white, and you can have a white daisy if you want to, but I'm going to use color just so that you could see how things would look. And it's easier to view when there's color to it. So I'm mixing my brush into yellow ochre. And adding to the tip some orange. This is vermilion, making sure that I don't have a whole lot of water. My brush too much water will make my painting bloated looking and not give a pretty picture. All right, taking my plate and getting rid of that extra water, going back in to my color, dipping in, and then blending. Okay, so the center is what I'm going to paint. And I'm going to paint in the middle because this is for demonstration purposes. When you paint, you're going to put them asymmetrically. So first, we'll have a full view, front view of the flower. Here's my center. And just painting in the little oval there. Well, I'm going to clean my brush and dry my brush and change to a different color. I'm fortunate enough to have another flow brush here for purposes of demonstration. And I have switch brushes, but you don't have to. You can use one brush. And then take a blue. This is a baby blue. And get that nice and full. And get rid of any extra water. I'm going to tip my blue with a little bit of the purple here. Just at the very end. Go back and blend that on my plate. And I'm going to treat my flower petals like they're hands of a clock. All right, so with my fingernail, I'm going to paint with my fingernail, not that you could see it. When you're done, I'm going to paint like an oval here so that this would look like the center of a donut. And that circle that I want would be the meat of the donut, right? The center would be empty donut. You could put your finger like this and put your donut on top. So if we treat this like a clock, this would be 12 o'clock. That would be 3 o'clock. This would be 6 o'clock, and that would be 9 o'clock. All right. So when we start painting in my leaves, my petals rather, if I can go from outside in or from inside out, I'm more comfortable going from outside in here. So you would just want to press and pull into this center. And every petal will be going towards that invisible center dot there. Okay, take a deep breath. We press and we pull. And then continue around. We want to make them round, but make each petal have its own quality. Press and pull. Oops, sorry, dropped my brush. Don't do that part. I'm going to load my brush again because color went onto my leg. Make sure I have the right consistency. I don't want it too watery. So if I take my time to load my brush properly, we'll have a good tone. Okay. Again, from the inside out here feels better to me. And then when I come up higher, it's easier for me to go from outside in. Okay. Now I can do another layer here that would be behind this V-shaped empty space. Coming in. Stopping. Okay, and there's my aster. And I still need to paint the stem. And since I have blue on my brush, I can add yellow, and yellow and blue make green, or I can just go back in here and I have two nice greens here. So here's a lighter green, and darker green. And I'm going to choose to add a little bit of black ink here in my dish to mix in to get a more natural looking green. I find that dot that I painted here and invisible line out here, and I'm going to land on the paper where there's an opening and press and pull my stem. I'm going to have a little space here. Press and pull, press and pull. Okay, so these empty spaces here are going to be where I'm going to put some leaves. Let's go back though now to paint a side view, and then we'll paint the leaves next. All right, so I have green on my brush. I'm going to clean my brush and dry my brush. And remember, I have this extra brush here. And it's got yellow on it. I'm going to mix my yellow in with my blue and get it a slightly different color. I'm going to paint the side view of the flower. And the side view looks more triangular in shape. Here's my flower. And for you to see it in the side view, it looks like that, right? Like a folded band, right? But it does have a beginning, right? So there's that dot for the beginning. And every petal is going to come towards that dot. And then I'm going to paint a calyx over it. The calyx supports the flower. These again, press, press, press. And when they get here, be longer a little bit. And that's my side view. Get my green color. Show the calyx. Calyx supports the flower. It's stiff and protective while the flower is a baby. Then pull my stem from here. Press and pull. Okay. So now we have a front view, we have a side view, and now we can do a 3/4 view. Going to come over here and do the 3/4 view. And here's my flower looking full on. If we turn it a little bit, there you can see these petals will be shorter and these will look longer. So these are the ones behind, these are the ones in the front. And take another color, clean my brush off, try my brush off. And the ones in the back are like this, so that fan shape. Do some more purple. Press and pull, press and pull, press and pull. And I want to leave like a little bit of a upside down U shape here or a semicircle for the center of the flower. Then here's where I'm going to put the center of the flower. Right, like that. You can't see it in this one because these are the back petals, right? And these are short ones here. Round that out a little bit. And in this one, you can still see the calyx. So coming in with my green and do the calyx. Okay. Now remember, we talked about the leaves being thinner. So the leaves are more delicate and look like this. Sticking with my green. Come out from my stem. Press like that. Press like that. Press. Press. And why did I have this empty space? That's just in case I want to have the leaf come into that space to show that it's in front of the stem. Like that. That makes it look more interesting and gives it some dimension. And then you have these little tiny portions that may have been leaf that got cut off or that hasn't grown yet. There we are. Thank you very much for watching.